On October 20th, 2020, Jordan Peterson gave his first solo YouTube update in almost 1 year. As is well known, his public absence was the result of being treated for benzodiazepine addiction. I have no training in or knowledge of pharmacology, so I won't be commenting on his issues with tranquilizers. As the author of the soon-to-be-released book, The Devil in His Due: How Jordan Peterson Plagiarizes Adolf Hitler, I am chiefly concerned with Peterson's ties with neo-fascism, specifically Neo-Nazism. In my book, I submit as evidence over 3,100 instances of what I believe to be Jordan Peterson copying from books such as Mein Kampf, Hitler's Zweites Book, or second book, Hitler's Table Talk, which Peterson has read and recommends, and Hitler's speeches. Peterson regularly lectures on and talks about Hitler, which is a bit unusual for a professor of psychology. Although I won't be floating any theories about Peterson's drug use, I would also like to mention that in my book, I do much more than offer evidence of plagiarism. I tell the Jordan Peterson story, including how he often encourages his followers to take banned substances. When Peterson checked into rehab, I wasn't surprised. He has touted LSD, cocaine, psilocybin, ecstasy or MDMA, and ayahuasca or DMT. He often promotes the benefits of hallucinogens, has admitted to taking hallucinogens, and has said that psychedelics helped the Vikings during battle and have helped him to commune with God the Father. Peterson seldom mentions the negative or detrimental side effects of such substances, or that they are almost always illegal. He has also said that if people wish to go to hell in a handbasket from taking illicit substances, that's fine by him, so long as he's not inconvenienced by their demise. I think here we see an excellent example of Jordan Peterson really trying to help his fan base. He's assisting them in taking responsibility and getting their lives in order. Peterson's return home video demonstrates what Peterson routinely demonstrates, that he has zero empathy for other human beings apart from possibly his family. He has recurrently and irately counseled against empathy, saying that if you display sympathy toward others, you're no better than a 2-year-old. He has sternly instructed people who care for the elderly that they should not help their charges unless absolutely necessary. He claims this is a rule. The tough love for old folks rule, which some embittered and overworked caregiver could interpret as a license to abuse. Dr. Peterson is a perennial ray of sunshine, no? I'm surprised he didn't suggest that caregivers do their shift after sniffing cocaine. He's told his students that cocaine is fun and enjoyable, and they, quote, should be nose deep in that stuff non-stop, end quote. But circling back to empathy, in his new video, he thanked his family for their tremendous support, which is good, but then added that he doubted he would have done the same for any of them, which could be interpreted as a compliment. You know, he could never take care of them as well as they took care of him, but which was almost certainly yet another admission that he's an exceedingly callous person who really only cares about himself. Of further interest was that he thanked his extended family and flashed some pictures of family members. I'm not quite sure who all the people were, but one was his mother, Beverly. Absent, at least I think, was his father, Walter. This is interesting because Peterson has revealed that growing up under his father was, quote-unquote, rough. In Peterson's first book, Maps of Meaning, he includes a bizarre letter that he wrote to his father, wherein he mentions how his father used to punish him. It's a strange thing to include in a book, and I wonder what kind of punishment he was referring to. He has also told his students at the University of Toronto that if you suffer from mental illness, like schizophrenia, under a domineering parent, it can be devastating. And in Sweden, he described his father as a domineering parent. He called him a, quote, harsh taskmaster, end quote. And he had difficulty speaking about his dad and their rough relationship. In the letter in Maps of Meaning, Jordan indicates 3 times to Walter that he, Jordan, might be psychologically unwell. For instance, he says that writing Maps of Meaning was, quote, literally driving me crazy, end quote. One of Peterson's messages to his male followers is to establish and enhance a relationship with their father. Peterson revealed on the Joe Rogan Experience that he enhanced his relationship with his own father by gifting him an imitation Nazi war ensign. Peterson is Canadian, so am I. If I had gifted my father an imitation Nazi flag, he would not have been impressed. During Return Home, Peterson said that while convalescing, he managed to do some writing, but it seems his next book, Beyond Mere Order, 12 More Rules for Life, will not be published in November, as planned. About the word order, in The Devil in His Due, I reveal how Peterson not only filches from Hitler, but is a crypto-fascist. Peterson's order is a reference to Nazi order, or Nazism. In 12 Rules for Life, Peterson says that order is tribe, home, and country, the greatness of tradition, trains that leave on time, the flag of the nation, and living room. and Hitler conceptualized order as tribes, folks, and states, the home country, the cultural traditions of a great people, a train that departed punctually, the national flag, and living space. Order is trains that leave on time? Bit of a giveaway, don't you think? Also, order is the flag of the nation? What nation? Think of Peterson's gift to his father. Also, Peterson is mesmerized by the Third Reich's order police and recommends a book about them by Christopher Browning called Ordinary Men. We know that Peterson associates Nazi Germany with order because he often talks about the so-called order provided by Hitler. Here he is in a Maps of Meaning lecture that was televised by TV Ontario. I mean, part of the reason that the Germans preferred Hitler to chaos was because they felt that the order that Hitler promised, as repressive as it was preferable to the chaos that was likely to ensue. And here's a quote from Hitler, "Order collapses and chaos ensues." And while describing a Nuremberg rally to his students at the University of Toronto, Peterson said, "The Germans are good at order," as well as, "And one thing Hitler was good at was order." Commenting on formations of Nazi soldiers, he has said, "That's order, order." Again, his next book is going to be called Beyond Mere Order. It's black. The cover is black. Peterson's return home video is short, about 8 minutes, but he manages to talk a lot about his favorite subject, himself. Oh, and all the work he hopes to do, which, he said, can provide people with utility. He also made sure to speak of the Bible, which he uses to recruit the gullible. Peterson is not a Christian. Years ago, before he morphed into a self-help guru who recommends cocaine and calls ecstasy a miracle cure, he used to bash and mock Christianity, but he eventually realized it's an excellent way to get converts and provide him with cover. How could he be a fascist when he lectures on the Bible? In my book, I show how more than 100 of Peterson's biblical quotes are the same as, or similar to, biblical quotes used by Hitler. The Fuhrer also cited the Bible to manipulate and persuade. If you watch the last 2 minutes of Return Home, it's like observing the latest Japanese robot that's been programmed to speak Canadian English. The message of appreciation to Peterson's fans is brief and emotionless. Thank you very much. And, well, thank you very much is probably sufficient. You'd get more feeling out of a toaster, or maybe even a lobster. I'd like to speak now directly to Peterson's lobsters, or his fans. You can venerate and defend him all you want. He doesn't care a particle about you, because he lacks normal human feelings. You are merely an object to be molded for his benefit, to make him feel good about himself, to keep him away from feelings of worthlessness. You may think that he is helping you, but really, you are helping him. I mean, think about it. Possibly you, and certainly many of your fellow crustaceans, have showered him with get-well-soon messages. But in his I'm Back video, instead of expressing gratitude with any degree of human warmth, he icily noted how his absence seemed to garner more followers. Incidentally, Peterson delivered this talk from his upstairs office. Before he went to the United States, Russia, and Serbia for treatment, here's what he said about a Soviet propaganda portrait that hangs next to his computer desk in that office. I found this painting, off to my left here. It's 5 Russian revolutionaries, all young and quite stalwart looking, standing on the edge of a cliff, with a soldier off to the side. They're all shackled together. He's preparing to execute them. Again, this statement was made in something akin to robot speak. Zero human feeling. I ask you, is decorating your home office with paintings of executions normal? Knowing what I do about Peterson, that he's a neo-fascist who plagiarizes Adolf Hitler, and no, I'm not joking, his drug issues are merely a footnote to the Peterson story. Moreover, that the media has focused on his addiction, but not his repeated praise for Adolf Hitler and other Nazis, is extremely concerning. By writing The Devil in His Due, I feel that I've had to do the media's job for them, and to be candid, this has made me feel somewhat resentful. Although I did my utmost to present the best case I could and tell the story in a way that is honest and compelling, I would have rather spent my time doing something else. Again, Peterson's self-help book about Nazi order won't be out in November, but mine will. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe.